doing? I will wait for us to go live on my laptop. As you know, there is a little bit of a delay. How you guys doing? Happy Friday night. Hi, Connie. How are you? So we'll just give it a minute. As always, I'm faster than my laptop is. And I'm looking around making sure I have everything I need. So hello, hello. Happy Friday night. How we doing? Very excited to be here. Laptop is slow, but I see you guys can see me. So hi, I'm excited to be here because I wasn't sure if I was going to do a Friday night, and then I got confused because I thought my class was this weekend, but it's next weekend. So happy inking. Yes, it is happy inking. I'm super excited because I've known about this for a little while. So excited to get to play with this with you guys and answer any questions as the best to the best of my knowledge, right? To the best of my knowledge. But I love hanging out with you guys on a Friday night. So hello, Yerlise. How you doing, friend? Hi, Kelly, watching from your new home. I love it. Where are you located now, Kel? I saw that you were moving, but I wasn't sure where. And Pam is fussy cussing. She has homework for my cut and paste class. I love it. I want to know how I feel about the inks. I love them. I love them. I love them. We'll talk about as a non-expert, just a enthusiast, right? Hi, Jenny. How are you? As an enthusiast, because I love my mixed media, and I love how I use inks is for technique, as well as stamping. So the only thing, I grab things quick. Today is my daughter's 22nd birthday, so we just got back from supper, and I said I have to get everything set up so I can roll right in here to hang out with my friends. She's gonna go out with her friends. I'm gonna hang out with my friends. Thank you. It's like the neon, right, with the black. It's a fun top. I haven't had it on for a while, so thank you. I changed out of my dress and threw my shorts on and my shirt. So I have pants on, so I'm winning. And I'll give everybody a chance to catch up. But yeah, it's her birthday, 22. So if you guys have been following me for a while, Devin was just like a little baby girl when I started all of this, right? Because Riley was 6 months old when I started scrapbooking. And then I started on design teams and magazines when she probably was an infant. So it's kind of fun to watch, right? That whole full circle kind of thing. If you guys have been following me for a long time, because I've been doing this for 23 years, I think 23 years. So, right. My pants are not on backwards because I have shorts on. That was hilarious. Because do you know when so I was teaching a class and I went to put my hands in my pants, in my pocket, not in my pants, in my pocket, and realized that I had my pants on backwards because my hands were on my butt. When I went to put them in the pocket, my hands were on my butt. So, I'm just keeping it real, always keeping it real. So tonight I have shorts on because we have work to do. So I said, I got to get out of this dress because I have stuff to do. So I'm going to flip the camera pretty quickly and so I can look, right? So if there's any questions that you guys have, then I can answer the questions. So silly, totally. It was one of those because they were like legging pants, you know what I mean, like tighter pants. But I laughed that I'm like, if I had gone out in public, because it could have happened, you would have seen the front pockets right on my butt. So it was pretty funny. So tonight, if you were not aware, I am going to be using the new dye-base inks from 49 and Market, who I have partnered up with to do collections, Vicky Booten collections, and Ranger. So these inks are through Ranger, which if you have followed me for a long time, you know I absolutely love Ranger ink, and I love Tim Holtz and Distress Inks and all things inking and mixed media. So super excited to share this with you guys because, like I said, I am a lover of water-based, water-reactive inks and doing techniques. So for me, it goes beyond stamping. For me, I love that I can I can still use these with the existing toolbox of all my creative toolbox and all of the things I have. So I love that they fit in there. Uh, so, without further ado, I'm going to Blair Witch you and flip the camera around, and then I can see your questions because it's hard, right? I can't see the questions on here. But just know all your favorite retailers are going to, if they haven't got them already, for a lot of my friends that order from my friend Lil Concar, instead of me bringing them in, she said, hey, I'll just do a share sale link. So I do have that in the description. If you click on that link, she has the inks, scrapbook.com, cherry on top. I saw tons of my favorite independent retailers on the live, so they're out there. Buy them from all those stores you love to support because it's super important that we do that. We keep this industry going. So this whole Friday night is going to be any questions I can answer, anything you want me to demo. So if you're on the fence, you will, I'll show you why I love them and why you might want them. Okay, so I think that'll be good, right? My LSS had ordered them for me and the reinkers. I love that. I love that. That's why we love our independent scrapbook stores, right? Because you say, hey, Susie, I love these. Will you get them for me? And they're like, heck yeah, I will. And we love that. So, I'm all about doing all the things and then supporting all of our independent retailers and my lovely friend Janine at 49 and Market and Ranger. So they sent me a set and I've been playing with them. I will show you what I've done. And like I said, answer any of the questions. So yes, Cherry on Top is awesome. Scrapbook.com is awesome too, because they are, even though they're bigger stores, they're still mom and pop kind of things, right? And then of course my friend Lael. So all of my share sale links for those things are in the description of the video. It costs you nothing, but it certainly helps when I do these lives to help support me. So if you are so inclined, you can click on those. You don't have to. We still could be friends. So let me, without further ado, I'm going to flip the camera around. You don't have to look at me and my very flushed cheeks tonight because I ran. I ran to make sure I had pants on and that I got here in time. And then let's get right into it, right? It's very exciting. So, and then I won't miss your questions. Yes, Scrap Mania, I love Memory Bound, are two amazing stores. I have met the owners of those stores, absolutely love them. So I say yes, yes, all of your favorite stores, definitely. Do the things, support all of them, For me, I'm like, I'm all about that. Support your retailers, all those stores that help you when you're in a bind. You need to find the things, right? I love it. So, boop, eek, there we go. So now I can see questions or comments. So if I missed anything, let me know. Sorry, I have to shake you. You had to have the shaky shake as I set it up. Nobody needs to see my shorts. So, sorry about that. Let me just do a little tilty. There we go. Hello, Kari. Hello, Rita. Hello, Scrapbook Affair. The mint. I'm telling you, and it is so we're going to get into questions. So ask me some questions right off. Did you watch the live with Janine yesterday? I was there supporting my friend, cheering her on because it's super exciting. When she said that this was something that was going to happen, I was like, yes, I love it. I want this color and I want that color. And she's like, Vicky, slow your roll. Like she does. She's like, just slow down, lady. And I'm like, I know, but you need to be aware of the things that I love. So maybe I get to, I get some of those things I will be very happy about. And she did a great job with this color palette. So I have swatched everything. I have done some blending. I have my distress inks out as well, so we can talk about the things. Question: do they play nice with distress oxide? Well, they're a dye based, so they're more of a clear. So I would say yes. We'll test it with oxide, but definitely with your regular distress ink. Definitely, they would be more along that line, right? More along that line. So, just like regular distress would work with oxide ink, right? So, different formulation, but have similar properties. That's what I would say. And if you said to me, um, what makes them different? Here's the biggest thing for me, and tell me if this is not how you feel. If I'm doing just mixed media and I'm not trying to color match anything, it's perfect. I can make new colors, I can blend them, I can do all of the things. What make these magic, and down the road it's just going to get better, is they mix and match with 49 and Market collections. So for me, that's what makes it kind of awesome, is now I have Pantones and pigments and colors that match my collections. So I love that. And we're going to be playing very nicely within this, and down the line when anything new comes out, that if you said, Vicky, what is the biggest selling feature for you? Is that one, I have colors that don't exist in other inks that I've always wanted and needed. And the other thing is that none of these colors are the same as my existing love for distress. They're different. So I just find it expands the palette, but it matches 49 and Market, which I am doing collections with, right? So it will work with Dennis's collections, it works with Joanne's collections. Now, like, even to give you a little feedback, or a little hint for the future, is I'm working on my next collection, which will come out in the new year. Our whole color palette is going to be selected for the most part from ink colors, from the existing colors. So I love that it matches, and that those pinks and those mints will match from collection to collection. And you could be using Dennis's, you could be using Joanne's, you could be using Vicky's, you could be using anything that Janine is doing, and your inks will color. So do you see what I'm saying? So if some of you were like, well, I have all of this stuff, like, why would I need these? Well, there's colors you don't have, so that's what's magic. And then the other thing is that it will match the collection. So if you are a 49 and Market lover, if you love Vicky Bouton's collections for 49 and Market, I love that your inks will match, because we are color matching to that. So do you see what I'm saying? That to me is because look, I have no skin in the game. These are totally through 49 and Market and Ranger. Just like when I use Tim Holtz's distress ink, I just use it purely because I love them and because I love doing mixed media. So that to me is a selling feature for that, is why do you need these? I'm like, well, if you love doing stuff with me, well, one, if you're like me, I have to have it because it's new. Like, am I buying all of the oxides in mini, even though I have all of the full size pads? You better believe it. But it's because I'll use them. So there was a question. I saw Jill had one. I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you. I was saying my little spiel of why I love these. So here, question: are any colors close to distress colors? I have all my swatches of distress, so all of them. Ask me, and I'll pull it out. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for you guys tonight. Michelle said, do they play nice with, I saw that one with oxide. We'll test it. But where's Jill's question? Will you be using 49 and Market now primarily over other distress? No, I'll use both because I have them, right? I have them. So I would use all of it because, Tim has been around and doing all of that amazing stuff. And I totally love Tim and I totally love distress. So it's just, these are colors that will match scrapbooking paper and all of that stuff, if that makes sense. It's not to replace it. It's adjacent to, or in addition, if that makes sense. So these are felt pads. Yep, they're felt pads. Juicy, yes. So I'm going to take a piece of paper. I'm going to show you first the colors, because maybe you didn't watch Janine's. I would say go and watch it, because I would love that, so you see where all of her inspiration came from, and she's just all around freaking awesome, and I love being part of that team. So I would definitely say it's fun. Go watch that live as well if you haven't seen it already, if you're new to all of this, or maybe you're new to me even. You just kind of found it. You were searching the interwebs today and you're like, who's this crazy lady? What's she talking about? Ink. I've never bought ink before. Do I need them? And I'd say, well, if you want to do some of the stuff that I'm doing, yeah. I'm just like, I am a weirdo. So look, I'm getting all my little minis ready. so I can interchange them for my blending tools. I will set it up further, but like I literally pick these up on Wednesday. So that has been the amount of time I stayed up till 2 a.m. on Wednesday night playing with it, right? There are reinkers. See? In my little, Janine sent them to me in the little IKEA bags. There's reinkers for all of it. We'll play with that a little bit tonight. Like this is just the intro. We're going to do a lot of things, but I'm going to mix media for the most part with you guys tonight. I'm going to show you the same way I love doing techniques. We're going to do kissing technique. I'm going to show you watercoloring with the reinker tonight. I am going to show you blending right out of the pad. I'm going to show you straight out of the pad if you rub the ink on. I am going to show you, I did some gesso because I don't know. I have no clue. We're going to test it and see, right? Do you think they'll come out with minis of these inks? Maybe eventually, but probably not, Sherry. Like I look at it, well, who knows? If they're super successful, maybe, but if I had a say in it, I'd rather have new colors than minis. Does that make sense? If I have to pick one or the other, I would say new colors. I'd say new colors because there's lots of blues I still would love, greens, pinks, reds. I drive Janine crazy with the red. I love the reds. So let's do the things tonight. So first thing I'm going to do is introduce you to the color palette. There are 15 colors in this release, right? 15 colors. They come in the rectangle pad. They are definitely kind of that linen-y base. Somebody said, do the lids fit tight? Yes, the lids fit tight. So, right, it has that kind of fibery top to it. It is not a foam, which I prefer because I find the foam get a little messy using the foam pads. Are they stackable? Yes, see? All of mine are stacked. These are good questions, so I love it. They're stackable. See, it fits. There is that little ledge and then that base piece that fits on there. So yes, they are stackable, right? I'd say the packaging is probably the same as archival, right? The packaging is same as archival. Do they fit in the inkstand? I would say yes. I would say for sure when that was designed that this standard pad fits. Because let's look, are they the same as Gina's? Similar, right? Similar to Gina, who I love these two. I have these two, right? It's the same size. But the one thing I do love about this too is that ridge means, see, they don't move off. See, they stick. Does that make sense? What other, you have lots of questions, so I need to sit. Can you sit the open pad on the lid? Let's try it. I love these. Keep it coming. I think so, right? No, I'd say no. That question, no. No, I don't do that ever anyway because I hate mess. I'm somebody who loves to do mixed media, but I hate mess. Could you put the names on the side? You could if you fit it small right here, which I would do instead of the name. I'd probably just do a color swatch, but I'm sure we could. You totally could with like a porous paper. Just make sure you cut it to that size, right? Or label makers. Inkstand. I only have the inkstand that fits the Ranger size. So, oh my goodness, and I love her. Remind me, who owns Inkstand? Natalie, who owns Inkstand? Because she's our friend. But you know, I am a woman in her 50s, and I have memory loss. So, see what I'm saying? Here's your archival. I really feel, Brianna, thank you. I feel like Brianna Loveland, I wish she was here because she would tell us, but I say yes. She has to have an inkstand that fit Gina size because she's friends with Gina, right? But not a year older, right? I'm in the 50s in there. I feel sometimes like I'm 75, but I will find that out for you. But I would say I feel very confident that there's got to be the inkstand that you're talking about, the tray, right? From Brianna Loveland. That's inkstand, right? I'll find out because I will be ordering them from her that will fit these. So you watch. probably in like my next live, I will have it so I can show you. I love it and I love her, and I am all about we should support her because she is a small business, and that was a brilliant idea before everybody starts trying to knock it off, right? So I love that. So yes, I would say 100% I feel like they will fit, and I'll find that out for you. What other questions did I miss? Ranger offers such incredible quality. They do. And here's the other thing is with Ranger, I love them as a company. I love the people behind it. I love the artists and designers who work there. You know, I love them all, right? Wendy, Simon, Diane, Dina, Tim. I love them all. I don't think I missed anybody. And then I love the people who are behind the scenes there, right? She has the black ones now as well. Yep, so I love that. Okay, did I miss anything else? So yes, for storage, we'll look at, for storage right now, I just put mine in a bin, right? But I would feel like any of the storage things that, like the ones that scrapbook.com sells, that the different storage companies sell, will have, this to me is old school. Wouldn't you say? Like this is an OG ink pad size. So I feel like I'm trying to think of like all you card makers will remember all the different, remember old terrible memory, but this to me is like a general ink pad size. So I feel like you'll be fine. And I love that question about stacking because I didn't even realize that ledge makes them fit like this. Okay, so let's talk about the colors. I showed you that. Let me show you what I did. Because this is when I sat and played. I went to visit Janine, and she brought them out. And I grabbed a piece of foundations paper, and I blended them. I watermarked. I stamped them. So here is one of the things that I love about this ink is it stamps beautifully, and I'll show you that tonight. It stamps beautifully. So it still, see, blends beautifully, watermarks on my foundations paper. So I feel like when you get them, you should sit and play. I really feel like doing something like this is just for fun. But because I wasn't taking any ink home with me, I wanted a sample before they arrived that I could kind of play with and kind of get an idea. So I did that. I did my... excuse me, this is how I do, I'll show you a little unicorn dish that has all of my, and this is just swiping the pad on a piece of foundations paper. Excuse me. That's what happened. I went to supper and then ran in here to start talking with you guys. So you're going to be like, oh my goodness, got hiccups. So I have this little cup, this little unicorn cup, and this is all of my distress in the cup. These are the colors that match Mistletoe Memories, but this is what I do. I have lots of different swatches, but I love that I can grab a big one and match to things, and I can see if it matches. So now I've done and then just marked on the bottom corner 49, so I will know that this is all on foundations paper, because you know for the most part it's what I use is foundations paper. I'll keep that cup out in case there's any color you want me to reference. So when I got them, the first thing I did is cut my little, I think these are like, what, 2 by 4? And then took the pad and then just swiped it and let them dry. Because you know the color will completely change when it's fully dry. So that's how I swatch them. And then I also do swatches where it's blended and stenciled. So I have lots of different things I can reference because ink straight out of the pad is not going to look the same as when I blend it with a blending tool, right? Did I help pick? I did not help pick. The only thing is I put wish list things in. So the only way I had any influence on this is collections that were done already. So no, this is a Janine baby and Ranger baby. I just get to reap the benefit of having inks that there's colors that we've never had that I am freaking over the moon about. Okay, so that is just a general. I'm going to go through the pads. I will show you the swatches, and then we're going to do some stuff. Well, and I buy, like, everywhere I find any kind of like bulldog clips, I love that because then I can just have them. There's better ways that you could swatch. I do them in my art journals. I will do like pages where I swatch everything in one book. And we'll talk about that on a Friday Night Live too at some point. But these are the things that I did with just receiving. The other thing I did, which I know you guys, some of you were asking, is I did some blends, right? So I took a thinner strip and blended 3 ink colors, right? I did a couple of these. They're stuck together. My fingers aren't working. So I did a couple of blends. Things that will affect your blends and how these inks react depends on the paper you're using, depends on the tool you're using to get the ink from the pad to the paper. So there's lots of different things, right? Chamel is going to be over the moon with just Peachy. Yes, she is. Yes, she is. I'll have to make sure I send her one in the mail. I'll have to put that in the mail for her. She's going to be over the moon. And the other thing for me is that mint chill. That mint chill is a game changer, right? It's a game changer. So let's go through the ink colors, and then we're going to open them up and we're going to play with them. And then if you have any questions, you're going to ask them, and I'm going to do my best to answer them as a non-pro, just a user and lover. Okay? I'm certainly not an expert in any of this, but I do love to ink. So we have this lovely yellow. It's called Daffodil. And Daffodil is like I would say a butter yellow, wouldn't you? It's a butter yellow. So there is not a yellow like this in my collection, like of my favorite yellows. I will show you. So that's Daffodil, straight out of the pad, just rubbed on the page or on the paper. That's blended with a blending tool and through a stencil, right? So this is Daffodil. When we look at other yellows, I mixed all my stuff up. Scattered straw. Look at scattered straw. I feel like it's movie popcorn butter, like that fake butter. That is so delicious, right? Here is fossilized amber. Right, fossilized amber. What else can we? Where's mustard seed? They're not in order because remember I was messing around. So you just bear with me. Where is it? I might have pulled it for something. Let's see. Vicky should have been more organized. I was on meetings today and it's craziness. So there's mustard seeds. So do you see what I'm saying? So if you're looking, it is a yellow that I didn't have, right? It's a yellow I didn't have. So this is helpful to me because again, right? I have no skin in the game. I'm literally just a user like you guys are. I'm not selling these. I just want to show you how I'm going to use it, how it will work in there. So that's Daffodil, and those are your other yellows that I have. I think that's for the most part, right? And these swatches are all from Regular Distress. So that is Daffodil. We will set that aside. It is like sunshine yellow. Yeah, it is maybe has a little bit of orange to it. Would you say like a little bit of orange to it? It just reminds me of butter. Like it reminds me of butter. And then, like I said, when you blend it out, it is much softer. Like it's a very soft yellow, like sunshine. Yeah, I love it. Okay, so that is our Daffodil. And then Just Peachy. Freaking love this color. Look at this, Just Peachy. Chamel, my friend, is going to love this. So Just Peachy right out of the pad, right? When you open it, that's what it looks like in the pad. They are juicy, but not too juicy. So I feel like it's a controllable color. Like the pads, it's controllable, right? So our blend for Just Peachy, look how pretty. Is that not beautiful? Look how soft that is. When you have a moment, can you show us which ones? Yes, at the end I will. Kari, at the end I will. So that is just peachy. Let's pull some orangey colors. Because, right, it's one of those things we've talked about is, I'll grab my tattered rose because coming up next. Anyway. So here are some oranges. Orangier shades in here. So dried marigold is a little bit more yellow, right? There's like a warmer, it's a warmer orange. Like it doesn't match. So that's what I'm saying. If you want to add it to your creative toolbox, it does not, none of them. Like that's a lighter, tattered rose is a little lighter shade, but you see what I'm saying? Just peachy is a totally different color. So I'm like, yay, I love it. You know, I have everything in distress. I own all of it because I love it. I love Ranger, I love Tim, and now I have something that will match when I use peach in one of my collections. Now I have a peach that matches it. So that's how I look at it, where you're like, I have so many inks. Why would I need this? If you want something that will do wet techniques and is reacts with water, but matches your 49 and Market collections, that's why. So that's kind of like where it's like, do I need more? I'm like, well, you make that decision. You know, you can come and play with us and we'll love you. If you don't have them, that is totally up to you. Like I said, right? My name is not on these. I'm just telling you because I love them. So that's our two colors we've done so far. So now we have Pink Sands, which I know is one of Janine loves this color. So Pink Sands is, it reminds me of like shellfish, like shrimp, or like the toes on a flamingo. The toes on a flamingo, right? So that's Pink Sands out right out of the pad. This is it blended. So you will see some of these, right? When you drag the pad, which is very wet, you get very intense color. And then when you blend, you get this lovely soft color, right? Lovely soft color. So let me show you saltwater taffy because I see you talking about it. Saltwater taffy, and there's tattered rose. So look at what I love is it's a darker shade up from that. There is spun sugar and there's saltwater taffy. They are not the same. It is not the same. It's almost a peachy pink. It is. It's like it reminds me of flamingos aren't hot pink, right? They're kind of because they eat shellfish. That's what give them their color, right? So I hope that helps because I found that this is helpful for me as a lover of this stuff, right? It's not really a pink though. I would say if I'm doing this, it's definitely more in the orange range. Like there's more yellow in that, right? But I love it. And then look, it blends out a little bit pinker. But is it a saltwater taffy? No, saltwater taffy I'd say is more on the pink side. So is it like just peachy? Let me show you just peachy. It is similar to just peachy, but not the same. Just peachy pulls a little bit more yellow. Look at. Are they similar? They're similar, not the same, but there's reasons for this because these colors will be matching collections that are coming or collections that exist. You know what I mean? And then when you think about our color palettes, mine compared to Dennis, compared to Joanne, Joanne does that very soft and ethereal. Mine can range the whole color range. I will do jewel tones. I will do rainbow. I would do neon if she would let me. And then Dennis, definitely the whole range, but a little earthier, right? A little earthier. So I'd say, what do you think, Lori? I hope it translates. It's different. This pulls more pink. This pulls a little bit more orange. Hello, Lizette. Hola. So that is your Pink Sands. I'm keeping all my stuff together. Let's go to the next one. Is this helpful? Do you guys find this helpful? I love this one. Are you ready? So now next up is watermelon. Well, how Vicky's brain works. Next up is watermelon. I love it. It's pink. It is a pink. But look at it. Right out of the pad looks kind of red, right? Blended definitely pulls more the pink. So this is watermelon. Okay, watermelon. I'd say it is very unique in this palette of inks that already exist. Maybe kind of closer to Festive Berry, but not. Festive Berry is more red. This is definitely pulls more pink. Not Fired Brick at all. Let's pull some other. It is not Abandoned Coral at all. It just will find it's going to find its own little space. Not Worn Lipstick, but oh my goodness, when we blend these two out, that just makes this girl's pink heart very happy. Very happy. And then Not At All, this pulls way more purple. Picked Raspberry, not at all the same. So totally different. That's what I'd say. It's just totally different. I love this color. I think this is juicy, right? It's juicy. So that is your watermelon. And that helped you, I think, like I would make swatches like I did. And I think that you could mix them right in there that you will have now. But again, why important? We're not trying to reinvent the wheel with this. Is we want colors that will match our papers, right? That will match with the papers. And I think that it's super helpful. So there is our watermelon. And then this one was one of those ones where I'm like, I want a red. I really love a red. You know what I mean? But you think red in 49 and Market isn't like, I would say there's probably not a lot of reds in the collection. So it's kind of fun, right? That this one is Strawberry Pie, and Janine loves this color. Look at that, Strawberry Pie. So it is, I think, almost rusty red. It's a little oxidized red, right? So that is it right out of the pad. That is it blended. But it's a little rustier. Let's look when we blend it, because there are some delicious reds in Distress, right? Cranberry, maybe. Like, I don't even know. Like, what would you, like, it is kind of bricky, but it's not Fired Brick at all. Fired Brick is definitely a little rustier. It's close, but it's not the same. That's the one it would be the closest to, but when you blend them out, it's not the same. But I like that Red Wagon, yeah. But that's the one it's closest to. But this one has a little bit more brown in it. And this one probably pulls a little bit more pinky red. So I do love it. I love it. I have lots of reds pulled, right? Because I had them out for the Christmas stuff. So let me show you. It is not Festive Berries, that's for sure. Not Festive Berries. And reds are hard. Reds are hard. My friend Kari is here, and her husband is a color scientist. So that's what we talked about. Red pigments are very hard. It is, to find the reds, the pigments are hard to find just in nature, and it's hard to make reds and pinks. Pinks too, really. Candied Apple, let me look. I think I have that swatched. I love it. Pull out ask me. I will pull it if I have it. I should, but sometimes, there's Lumberjack Plaid. Sometimes I lose some of my swatches because, I'm doing stuff and I pull it. Yeah, I don't have Candy Apple swatched. Look at how disappointing is that? Because I was like, yes, let me show you. I don't have it swatched. There's Abandoned Coral. I have it swatched. I just don't know where it is. So that wasn't helpful at all, but I'll pull it out and we'll swatch it. Let's see. Let me look quick. I just got to make sure it's actually where it's supposed to be too. Festive Berries. Oops. Did you hear me just drop everything? That just happened. Here's Candy Apple. Let's try it. Geez, I almost dropped the whole tray of ink on the floor. It is going to be different, than Candy Apple. But we'll swatch it because Vicky has lost her swatch. Let's do it. And And then we'll have to let it dry, because you know with the reds, they definitely change color when they dry. But let's do a quick swatch of it. That's what I'm here for. I just thought I find these helpful. And before I want to invest, sometimes I want to see what's going on, right? So let's, here, I just have this card. Let's do it on here. So I am going to swatch this out and we'll let it dry. Yeah, it's not the same though. You can see right away. Candy apple is way brighter. But we'll let it dry because you know that red will change. But see, it's earthier. So just different. But let's let it dry because then you'll see. Okay? Yeah, lumberjack plaid is right here. It's just different. Like I said, if the closest it is to fired brick, but it's still different. It's still different. And we needed a red because I just did a Christmas collection, right? So we definitely needed a red to go with it. And that's going to show up. We'll have it again. So I love it. Strawberry pie. That's your strawberry pie. Blood red, kinda, right? When it oxidizes, maybe. But that's not very, it wouldn't sell a lot, right? If we were like crime scene red. Question, Vicky, if I were to buy 2 to go with the fall collection, what would you say? I will look at that. It's all on the floor. I'm going to get up. Let's look. I don't know. I'll match that and tell you. You know, the greens will go for sure. Your greens are going to go. Mint chill will go when we get there. Arctic Blitz, Rainforest. I can't tell you. But yes, you're going to, I'm just telling you. If you liked Flower Emporium, but you were kind of on the fence, when you see my fall release, you are going to love it. Like Melissa, that's who designs it with me. Janine freaking loves, it's all she says is that fall collection is my absolute favorite. I love it. So next color up is Lavender Kiss. This doesn't exist. Like this, look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Is it not beautiful? And I don't lean towards the purples. I freaking love this color. I absolutely love this. I don't even know what purple is this. It reminds me of candy. You know what I mean? If I had something candy, I just love it. I love this color. Lavender Kisses. So when we look, and I probably don't have very many purples swatched because remember, I'm not a purple fan, but I am being converted. And this color, if it's something's going to do it, it's going to be this. So this might not be all of them, but look at. You have Dusty Concord, Shaded Lilac, Seedless Preserves. What purple am I missing? But look at. Totally unique. Totally unique. What other purples are there in Distress that maybe I don't have them in here? Right? There's Shaded Lilac. There is Seedless Preserves, Dusty Concord. Victorian Velvet. That's way pinker though. It's in here somewhere. Here it is. Look at, it's definitely not that color. Oh, Villainous Potion's in here, but you know that's dark purple. So I love that. I love that as a... Vicky needs to organize her stuff better. You guys are ashamed. It's not in here, Villainous Potion, because I am not as organized as I should have been tonight. But it's not the same. Like, I think that this is uniquely purple. Milled Lavender, I don't, look at, thank you. Let's pull them though. I have them. Let's pull it. I have all the things. But anybody who's hung out with me for a long time knows purple was never like my favorite. Whoops. Wilted Violet. Milled Lavender. I don't know where my Villainous Potion is right now, but look at, it's not the same. Totally different, right? But it shows you Vicky should really go through her swatches because she's not as on the ball as she should be. But here, this will be if anything's going to be close, but it's not, right? It's kind of got a little bit more gray to it. Different. And I just inked my desk, in case you were wondering. So different. I think if you love purples and light colors, and like Janine told you, there's collections that are coming out that some of these colors were done very specifically for that, right? That they will match. So I really think that's super pretty. I think it's super pretty. So that gives you kind of an idea. I know I can't wait to share that with you when we start looking at that one. So that is Lavender Kisses, and I love this color. I think it's stunning. So at the end, I want to know what your favorite is, because I'm going to do a giveaway, because I did order some inks so I can send to my design team and such. So at the end, I'm going to do 2 giveaways. We will do one live, and then we will do one in the comment section, and I'm going to give a set of the inks away, 2 sets. So one for the live, so whoever's here and watching, there'll be one for that, and then I will do one in the giveaway section. Not yet, so I'll tell you when, but I think that'll be fun. And even if you have a set, then you'll have a travel set. Okay, what's next? Let's do the blues. Summer Sky. Summer Sky, look at, there are quite a few blues. I would love like a really baby blue. There's lots of blues. Like I feel like there's so many shades of blue that we could do some really lovely blues. So this is Summer Sky, straight out of the pad and then blended. Isn't that a lovely color? So let's look at some blues that you might already have in your collection. There's Salty Ocean, close, but this is lighter and that's darker. That's probably the closest. So if you are a Salty Ocean fan, you're going to love this for blending a deeper blue in there. So there is some Salty Ocean. I'm going to grab that out too. What else? There's Mermaid. Lagoon, right? Here is Prize Ribbon. There's tons of blues, right? Tim has some gorgeous blue salts. But you see what I'm saying? It's different. It's different. Uncharted Mariner. So it just kind of gives you an idea, right? It is different. It's a different blue. So that one is Summer Sky. And it is, I think, would blend beautifully to do clouds. So that's your Summer Sky. And then we have it's not the closest on there is definitely going to be a Salty Ocean. This one is more tealy, Mermaid Lagoon. It's got a little bit more yellow in it. So let's go next to, no, it's for either, Brenda. It's for anywhere. It's for all of the places. Okay. I love this one. I love, love, love Arctic Blitz. Is that not gorgeous? Arctic Blitz. So that's straight out and blended. So the one that this one would probably be closest to, but different, is Uncharted. But look at, not the same. See what I'm saying? Close, but not the same. And don't forget, these are all pulled right out of the ink pad, so they are very pigmented, right? So that is Arctic Blitz, is a little bit bluer. Uncharted Mariner is a little greener. Again, why does it matter? This is what's going to match any shade that is like this with 49 and Market moving forward. So if you have some of these and you're like, it's close, but it doesn't match exactly, and I really wish it did because I want to ink this to go with this project, well, now you'll have an ink color that will match. It is not a Peacock Feathers is too light. I don't even know where mine is. Or is way more green. Where is it in this whole mix? Yeah, no, see, there's broken china. There is tumbled glass. Yeah, I don't even, where is my peacock feather? Because that is, oh, here it is. Way more. See, nowhere near. These two will blend beautifully together, though. Look at that. Beautifully together. So, love it. That is Arctic Blitz. If you ask me what is the closest to, I'd say Uncharted Mariner, but different. So, if you love it, if you love Uncharted Mariner, you'll love mixing it with that. No, I'm not using these in cut and paste. No. I am not going to confuse everything with cut and paste. So I'm using what the colors that people will have. Cut and paste are these colors. Salty Ocean, Salvage Patina, Spun Sugar, and the yellow, I think, Scattered Straw. Those are the 4 colors I'm using in cut and paste. Scattered Straw, Salvage Patina, Salty Ocean, and Spun Sugar. You can get more cut and paste from scrapbook.com. They have a ton of cut and paste. Scrapbook.com. Just use my share a sale links on there and go on there. They have everything. Everything for all the releases from American Crafts. So if you wanted Pages stuff, if you wanted some of the Bow Bunny, whatever, it's all there. Now I feel like color swatching. I love color swatching. It's the first thing I do when I get new inks. Right? It's the first thing I do when I get new inks. I freaking love this color. So I skipped. I'm holding it out. But we'll do that next. But Rainforest. Look at that color, is absolutely gorgeous. I cheated, but we'll do it. Look at that. It's almost a teal. It's kind of a green. I love it. They were missing a few pieces last time I looked. Check and let me know, Keisha. There, I just gave you homework. Go and look. I'd say it's all there. I'll be surprised if it's not. So Rainforest. Let's look. Well, none of these blues. Uncharted Mariner, kinda, but not at all, because these are blues. It definitely falls more in the green family. So let's grab some greens. But I feel like a lot of the greens are more yellow-green, right? So I'll look, because they'll be pulled for Christmas. Anything that's close to that will be pulled for Christmas. It definitely is none of these, because they're more yellow-green. And then let's look at what I pulled for mistletoe. Are these. So the closest it is to Evergreen Bough, but it's much darker. But it is not any of these. Maybe a little bit Pine Needles, but no, right? It's much darker. And look at Rustic Wilderness. No. It is close to this, but oh my goodness, these two colors together are freaking gorgeous. So Evergreen Bough, but it's different. It's a different green. I absolutely love it. Rainforest. It's beautiful. Now, I cheated. We should have did Mint Chill next. And I want to talk about this one because I love Mint Chill. Love Mint Chill. Because we don't have a color in, I don't have a color in ink that is this color. Mint Chill. I'm telling you, if you were only going to buy one, it's a hard one, but I'd be buying this one. I love it. Almost Tiffany bluish a little bit. I don't even know. It's just daiquiri ice cream. If you remember Baskin Robbins, is it one word, Baskin Robbins? Used to have an ice cream just like that. This is gorgeous. And there is not a color that matches this. This matches Mistletoe and Memories beautifully. When we get there, I will show you. It's gorgeous. I love it. I love this color. It will definitely be a favorite of mine. That's Mint Chill. If you said right now, Vicky, which one is your favorite? It's a toss-up, but I freaking love this color. Mint, yeah, like mint chocolate chip ice cream. 100%. It's mint, right? Where do you have a mint that's like this, that's going to be water reactive? You loved that flavor of Baskin Robbins. It was my favorite. It was called Daiquiri Ice, and it was almost lemon limey. I don't know. It was very unique. I probably only ate it because the color. Who doesn't love to eat something that is that beautiful color? So that is Mint Chill. And then one of my friend Janine's favorite colors is Green Jean. Because her dad, that was her nickname, was Green Jean. And this is Green Jean blended. This is Green Jean straight out of the pad. So look at the color difference on that one. Straight out of the pad, very, very pigmented, very rich, blends out to this beautiful kind of grassy green. I love it, right? Mowed Lawn, I'll show you. Close, but not the same. Here's Mowed Lawn, because it was one. I was like, close, but not the same. See? So look, when it blends out, but I can achieve this, which I couldn't with that. So yes, I'd say similar, but different. I'd say that this one has a little bit earthy. It's a little bit earthier. This is a little brighter. So that's the difference, right? Do you guys, have you found a favorite you love yet? What are you thinking? Because we're getting through. Now we're getting into the ones you know that aren't going to be the first ones Vicky would go for. But there are a couple, what do you call them? Dark horses in here that I absolutely love, right? Hello, scrapbook.com. I was just talking about you. Yes, I love them, and I can't wait to play with them. I was telling everyone that, yes, you can still find cut and paste at scrapbook.com. I know that you guys have lots of it, and it is definitely, that was a great collection to end my American Crafts journey. I absolutely love it. So if you have not got your hands on it, you want to find it. I love it. So you think Strawberry Pie, Mint Chill, the lavender one? Yes, I love it. So that is Green Jeans. Now let's get into these ones that I would have thought, because when Janine is like, oh, and I picked this gray and this brown, and I'm like, blah, for me, and then I love them. So I'm going to do this first, Fossil. I freaking love this greige. I would call it a greige. Do you remember when that was a big thing in home decor? Greige, a gray beige. This is Fossil, and I freaking love this color. Surprising. I love this color. This non-color color, right? I absolutely love Fossil, I have to say. So I don't think there's one that's exactly the same as this. I will show you, because look how rich it is, right? So here's some grays. Oh, Lost Shadow. It's the same, Vicky. You've got two Lost Shadows. Same? Nope. Blue gray? Nope. Weathered wood? Look at Vicky probably doesn't. I'm referring to myself in third person when we get into the grays. There's Ice Spruce. Nope. Because it's who I am. Hickory Smoke? Close, but this is a bluer gray. This is more grayish. So for some of you guys that love to ink your edges and you don't necessarily want a brown, this would be a great ink to go on color. Like I could ink things that I wanted to add shadow to, that I could ink this on a blue. I could ink this on a pink. So I absolutely love this, right? It's close, but it's not the same. It's close, but it's not the same. That's what I'm saying, because remember, do you need to buy any of these? No, you don't. If you want, you're happy with the inks. The reason I'm just showing you is if you own some of these colors and you're like, do I need this one? I am not, like, remember, no skin in the game for me. I'm just showing you if it's one of those, do I need this? And then I'll show you why it's different than what you already have. But again, what is the key factor with this is these will match everything coming out with 49 in market, especially moving forward. We're all going to be using the same color palette. So it won't be a pink that's 3 shades off. We're going to be using the pinks that are coming, right? Does that make sense? Because it is. I feel like a lot of us, right, have loved this. Frayed burlap is more brown. It's not like this at all. There's pumice stone, definitely is more brown. It's just a nice grayish. It is a very neutral gray. That's what I would call it, a neutral gray. Look at frayed burlap is brown, right? So that's what I right? Because it's a whole thing. Do you need any of these? No, you don't have to have any of them. You can use what you, well, you need mint chill. I really do think you need mint chill. And lavender kisses. I do feel like, yes, you need those, right? But yes, that is where it's like we are not trying to reinvent the wheel. Well, I take credit where I didn't know. I have no role in any of this. I just get to be lucky enough to have new colors to add to my creative toolbox. But yeah, different. So that's fossil. Different. Yeah, it is. Like, it's one of those, because if we're friends, right? We're hanging out here. We're friends. And you would be like, oh my gosh, Vicky, I'm on a spending freeze. Do I need all of these things? And I'd say no. But now you have the information. So if you do want to buy it, you're like, I watched that video with Vicky. I'm going to go back and look because there was that one color and I want to see how's it different from what I already have. And then you see. And the other thing is, again, it doesn't even matter if they're different from distress. The golden nugget with all of this is these are the colors. If you are a huge 49 in market fan, now you will have custom colored inks to match your colors. That's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing. Because I am not. For me, I'm like, no, I'm not going to tell you need to buy anything. I really feel like it's one of those things. If you want them, get them. If you don't want them, don't get them. And this is one of those things. My name isn't on it at all, right? I'm just your friendly, what is it? Spider-Man, your friendly, what is he? Your friendly something, neighborhood, whatever, crime fighter. I'm your your friendly neighborhood ink blender. So here are some more grays, right? So our next is Off the Rails. And I love this. Because I am not a brown inker, like I don't tend to ink towards brown. I like colorful stuff. So if I want something that I want to ink edges and get a little bit of shadow and dark, I want a neutral. And I find Off the Rails, look at that. It's, I would say there's a little bit of green in this gray. It's kind of a green gray, wouldn't you? Now, right out of the pad, it looks almost black, right? Like granite. But it doesn't, it's different from all of these. So different. And you know what your jam is, which one of these you think you're going to want. You know me. I want them all. I'm not going to lie. Give me something that I can do mixed media stuff with. And I never, even when Tim said his palette's complete, I'm always like, oh, come on, 4 more. So I'm going to buy all the things because I love it. Because I love it. We have 2 colors left before we get into the things. 2 colors left. Am I missing any questions, right? Almost black. Yeah, Lori, almost black. But not. And when it blends with the ink blending tool, it's much lighter. Like it's like red. Red will blend really light, but if you take it right directly out of the pad to paper, it's much more vibrant. Okay, so we have salted caramel and cappuccino, which I'm going to tell you, salted caramel for me, both of these, why I love them is for my warm palette, for my oranges. These to me, remember, Vicky's not really a brown girl. These to me will go into my yellows and my oranges and my reds. I'm going to tell you, because anybody watching will be like, Vicky is definitely not a brown inker. But oh my goodness, I'm a salted caramel girl. I feel like that is caramel. Like I want to eat that color. I love that. I love it, love it, love it. So out of the pad, very rich. Blended, oh, it's like suede, right? It's like suede. So let's look in the browns that Vicky never uses, but I own them all because I have to have all the things. And maybe I might paint a tree trunk and I'll need a brown. But we know, is there anything wrong with brown? No. It's just not something I tend to use very much of, right? So brush corduroy, no, right? This has much more red in it. Vintage photo, it's like it would be the Skipper to the Barbie of vintage photo. So vintage photo is my favorite brown. So I would say salted caramel is definitely in that range, but lighter. So if you love vintage photo, that will go, right? Autumn boots, yes, right? You know what I'm saying? So look at it. That's the closest. It doesn't go with anything else. I would say vintage photo is the closest, but let me show you with some of the oranges, and you'll see. I just feel like if you love those warm neutrals, you're gonna love that. And will put that out because that's gonna be the closest with the cappuccino. But there's nothing else. It's different. So I love that because I love that we are lovers of distress and Tim Holtz, and we've collected it all and we have all the things. So what I love that Ranger did and Janine did is it just is something that is different. It's going to be a different thing that if you want to add to your color palette, and if you like to do a lot of blending and inking and stamping. So look at, like this to me, these fit into my neutral warms. Do you know what I mean? That I freaking love that color combo for the fall, but you need to have, like, maybe you're inking leaves, but you need something to add a little bit of shadow. Hello, salted caramel. So I hope your guys are finding this helpful. It's kind of, I'm a color girl. I love to do mixed media and painting and distress and all of the things. So for me, this is the first thing I did when I sat down is I want to know what goes, what matches. So that's your salted caramel. And last, but certainly not least, is cappuccino. Cappuccino actually matches my Christmas collection. I can't wait to show you that because when I saw that, I'm like, I actually love cappuccino with mistletoe and memories. I love it. So next thing we're going to do is I'm going to play with these, okay? But we can't leave cappuccino out. So cappuccino, straight out of the pad is, what would you call this? Like almost like a biscuit, right? It's almost like coffee and a biscuit. And then you have it blended. Look how much lighter it goes. I love it. It's a beautiful, warm neutral. And the closest I'd say it is maybe brush corduroy. What do you guys think? You distress experts out there, because I know a lot of you will know your colors inside out. I don't know if there's anything else that I would say, because don't forget, Vicky might not have all of her browns. Like wheat. Yeah. Right? It's almost golden. Do you see what I'm saying, Lucy? Like I really feel like this would go in my yellows. This will be in my yellows. I love it. Frayed burlap? No, it's brown. So yes, it would go in my warms. Wild honey, where is it? I had that out. Let's see if we can find it. Is it right here? There's mustard seed and scattered straw. Where's my wild honey? Because that is one of my favorite colors, and now I'm afraid I might have lost my swatch. See, so Vicky was trying to be such a know-it-all, and then some of my stuff is not where it needs to be. Here's wild honey, orange. But look at, oh my goodness, look how delicious that blend would be. That's wild honey. Wild honey, cappuccino, 49 and Market, and brush corduroy. I love wild honey. I remember when it first came out, my mom, who's not crafty, but she's like, that's like new baby poop. And I'm like, I love baby poop color. Like I love that wild honey. I love that. But I said, Mom, I really think it's much nicer if we call it yellow. It is almost ochreish, isn't it? Yeah, I love it. So there, what do you guys think? I want to hear it. What are you guys thinking about these colors? And do you see there's so much thought went in with Janine and the team at Ranger to come up with colors that will go with the collections, and then also I think support what you already have collected. That's my thought on it. Like, I do feel like. And did you find this helpful? If you weren't sure, I hope that just that is info just generally on the inks. And now, like, look at, to me, that, like, that's, you know, brother and sister. I love them. And now let's do some things. Let's do the things. So if there's things you would like me to demo, and if I'm missing anything, definitely holla, and I will do the things. So I'm going to get rid of distress. I just wanted you to have a reference point, but now we're just going to talk about these inks like they're standalone. I might take one just so you can see how they blend, right? Like how if I blend a similar color, let's do that. Let's pick something too. We'll just do that right off. I'm going to take a big sheet of foundation. Is this the first of a few ink collections? Hopefully, Antonia. I know there's stuff that they're working on. I'm not privy to all the information because this really doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm just lucky to get to play with it. But I would say that yes, I'm confident more will come. Other things, right? Okay, let me have a drink of water. Let's blend a color. Do you have a preference? And I don't want to blend out mint chill to start because it's light. You have to layer that to build depth in that color. So what can we blend? How about watermelon? I think that will show up nicely. Is watermelon okay? Or what do you think? Arctic Blitz or watermelon? Kelly, I will have some, so you can reach out to me. I did order some that but yes, I definitely, you buy all the time, so let's do watermelon. Most of you say watermelon, so we're going watermelon. So let me find my little, I only use my little minis. And then let's pick a Ranger, a distress color. This all Ranger dum-dum. Just something similar. It's not the same color at all, but here, we'll just do picked raspberry, okay? Just to have a similar-ish, but not at all pink. Because I just want, when we water mist it and stuff, you can see, okay? So, let's get a blending tool. When I was in England, I bought myself this can. I love it. Anchovies are such a thing right now, right? Anchovy art. Like, it was all over, what's that? Anthropology had like a little anchovy purse. I do not want to eat one. And if you get it on your pizza, you can say it's okay. It's only on half. And I'd say baloney. If you put anchovies on the pizza, it's on the whole pizza, right? Anchovies on the pizza's on the whole pizza. So let me blend out watermelon. Okay, so I just have this mini, but let's just do a blend. So I'm just going to get this moving. So look how nice and soft that is, right? So that's, if you're new to blending ink, that's the biggest thing, is you don't want to put this on having it still and then start moving, because you'll never be able to blend the little polka dot out, okay? So there, I'm going to blend some right on my my foundations paper. So foundations paper is a product that I did with American Crafts. We are working diligently to, although there's, if you go to Notions, they had tons of it in the warehouse. So when it said out of stock, it was in the warehouse. There's lots of this still existing out there. It is a heavier weight paper with a vellum finish, so the ink sits on top. So it is great. It's like a little bit of an ice rink. It helps your blend, okay? So there is some of, let's put this up so you can see. This is what we're using is watermelon. Let's grab a stencil, and I'll stencil it as well. Okay. What will look pretty? Let's do the flowers. Okay. My mother, Brenda, and my mom and dad loved freaking anchovies on their pizza. And we brought pizza home, you know, when you were like 20 and you were coming home from hanging out with your friends. We got pizza, and I'd open it up and there would be anchovies on it. And I'm like, yeah, thanks. You got pizza that you didn't want to share with anybody else because I am not eating that. Vicky, again, I'm referring to myself in third person. I like foam, domed foam over blending brushes. So here I'll show you, I'll blend it with a blending brush. Here's my thought on this. And you guys tell me, and I know a lot of you guys maybe will not agree with this. Especially if you're newer to this, I can control the amount of ink with this easier than I feel like I can with blending brushes, because this is one piece of foam. This is a million bristles. So what are your thoughts on this? So let's do it. Okay, so can I use this? Yes. It blends, it's nice. Look at, I can cover way more space, but I think I'm just old school. It's all I ever used, right? It's all I ever used. So look, it still blends beautifully. So hopefully that helped. You guys can use whatever. And a lot of you card makers, because I tell you, the world of card makers, super smart, is it's what you love, right? So use what you love. There's no right or wrong. Look at that, blended beautifully. That was very nice, but I don't know. I use my blending foam. I don't know. Maybe I'm a purist with that. I just use what I know, right? I use what I know. But there's different sizes of brushes. Do whatever you want, right? So now I'm going to use a stencil, and I want to show you, like, that's nice and juicy right now. So there's lots of pigment in there. Normally I would use a bigger foam with this stencil because there's lots of open space in here, but let me show you. Let me show you. I just want to show you a blend right straight to paper. I will show you a blend with a stencil, and then we'll blend a second color in here as well to show you how two colors will blend. So I'm going to put that in there. So see, it layers beautifully. I can have light areas and dark areas, but you know when you're blending dye ink, if you want to get really dark areas and light areas, I would let some of it dry. It's very hard to layer wet on wet. You're just moving the same ink around. But look, it blends beautifully. So I'm going to wipe that. And let's go in with a distress ink so you can just see. Is it the same color? No. Similar? Yes. I don't rub on my pads either. I like to keep them pristine. So here we go, right? So this is your picked raspberry. This is definitely more of a purpley pink, right? Love this color though. So there's some picked raspberry, bigger blending foam, so it's going to go on here way faster. Okay, picked raspberry with the stencil. Yeah, the minis are great when you've got to get into small spaces. The only reason I picked those up is I had way more blending the bases, so I had just done the minis, but not for any reason. There was no rhyme or reason. It's just kind of what I did, right? But yeah, I love, like, it. If you ask me what my main product that I use is distress ink in inks, and regular distress. I am not a big oxide user. I like regular distress ink because it's translucent and I can do lots of things with it. So for me, these dye-based inks, I'm like, yes, I love it. I love the whole idea of that, right? So see, if you're asking how they blend, you see me using, it's not for color match, Connie, now, right? Because now we've talked about that already. It's more, how do these inks react? Are they similar? And I want to show you, okay? So what is one of the things we definitely do with our distress is it's water reactive, right? So let's see how this dye-based ink works with water, okay? So I'll put a little bit on there. We will pick it up with paper towel. I just dragged my hand through the water. So it gives you an idea that it watermarks. So you can do those things. If that's something you like to do, it will react with water. Okay. Let's take a stamp. I grabbed these, remember, it's my daughter's birthday today, so we were going out for dinner. So I'm like, I need to grab something just quick. So I grabbed, this is, we don't care about, this is an old stamp of mine from American Crafts. So if you're like, what set is that from? I don't know. It's old. It's just more to show how these inks stamp. Okay. Question, are the 49 translucent? Yes, it is a dye-based ink, right? The oxides are the ones that have a cloudy chalkiness to them. This is a dye-based ink. I want to make sure the stamp is clean because it has been around the block. Okay. And let's stamp with watermelon. Right, so this is, oops, almost dropped it on my page. Look how nicely that stamps. Look at that. So I did not get kind of that little beading or bubbling of the ink. It's stamped beautifully, so very much like that. I like that I feel like I have, right? One ink that does all of the things. So let's stamp with the picked raspberry. So this is not like a great polymer stamp. These ones are made in China. And it's stamped decent too. You know, you don't necessarily use your distress always just for stamping, right? But not bad. Gives you an idea. So one of Janine's favorite techniques is pulling from the ink, right? So let's see. Yes, you could pull, right? It is water soluble. So look, you could pull. Oops. And then you could drop your paintbrush right on your page. Okay. And we'll do. So these are not the same ink. They are different. I think Tim's definitely are way more water reactive. So it's just a different makeup. But like I said, they are going to match all of my 49 and Market papers, and I still can do techniques, right? I can still do technique with it. So I love that. Okay. Do you guys have any questions? So I'm going to blend in here now. I'll put the stencil back on, and I'm going to blend with Daffodil. Let's see what color we can get. Let me pull and wipe the pigment off, right? So I'm not pulling wet ink off of my stencil. Let's place that again. and blend in there. And I'm going to go in with yellow with the daffodil because it should make a salmony or orange color when the two blend, right? So let's do it. If you were the blending tool that matched that and Vicky didn't lose it, where would you be? Oh, you ding dong. Grab another one. I'll just do it with a big one. It'll be faster too. Do you have any questions? Let me know if you feel like I have not sure how this would work, or I'm curious about this and Vicky's not telling me. Definitely let me know, okay? So let's go in now. And we will start at the bottom. And I'm going to blend some of the daffodil. And then I will blend that up into my watermelon. And let's see, will we get a secondary color? I can see it and it's freaking gorgeous. This looks like a tequila sunrise. So I'm going to go in and blend some of the watermelon. And then let's blend some so we can get a good gradation here. You ready for the reveal? Look at that. So do they blend? I would say yes, they do, wouldn't you? So there is your daffodil, there is your watermelon, and there is the most lovely peach color in the middle. Right? And we can do another one of these because we're not going to really, I just wanted to show you, this is Distress. Right? Just throw a pen. Do I have a pen? This is Distress, right? Distress, ink. I just wanted to show you comparably how they blend because I know that's a question, right? You work hard for your money and I want you to make those decisions. Like I said, if you love 49 and Market, that's what would really be the determining factor is you know that these will match collections. So that's why you would want them. So you'll have colors that you know match. 49 and Market. Watermelon. And I just wanted you to see. Boop, boop. So questions. Do you guys have questions? Because we'll do something. We're going to do something, a background. Because that blend just freaking made me excited. I have to say, as a creative, sometimes I'm doing this just to share info with my people. But then I start making and I'm like, that was freaking fun. Like that blend was fun, was it not? So I want to show you, let's see on gesso. This is Vicky Boutin gesso, but I'd say it reacts similar to any of the gessos. So I went through and I gessoed a background through one of my stencils. I did this before I went out, so it would be dry. And we're going to ink on there and see how will this ink react with gesso. Will it resist? Because generally these inks will resist, right? So this turned pretty orange here. Let's go in with just peachy. So yes, I would say that gesso will still resist these 49 and Market inks. So let's go in. I'm not even going to change my blending tool. I just want to go in with something deeper. Ooh, so that's your strawberry pie. Do you see how wet that one and juicy it is? Red just kind of negates it all. So if I took a heat gun and I heated it onto the gesso, it would set up a little bit. But if I wipe that off, and I'm going to show you in a second, if I wipe that ink off, it will all lift off of the gesso, because gesso resists this pigment ink. So let's go back in with just peachy. Now my tool is contaminated, so I'm not going to get the pure orangey color. It's still going to have some of the red in there. But let's blend that in, soften that up. And especially because it's sitting right on top of that gesso, right? It won't lift, but I'll show you, okay? So we have deposited some ink onto this gesso background. I can't really build depth because, one, I'd have to dry it first, but it gives you an idea. So it looks like, right, my gesso's covered. So let's see what's going to happen if I can buff it off. So see, you see texture on there. I love my background and I can't buy this sheet anymore, so I have to take care of it. Normally I would have a craft mat down. Okay, I'm going to take a dry paper towel and let's see, will this buff off of that gesso or will it still be tinted? It might. Look at that. So that's something different, because normally it would not sit on there. So now I'm going to try with a baby wipe. Let's see if it'll come off or even a wet paper towel. This paper towel is a little bit wet. Will I be able to buff it off? Little bit, but no, it actually will soak in to the gesso, which is kind of fun. I can deposit pigment on there. This isn't going to lift right off, so I'm not getting that same exact resist. Oh, look at that. That I would get when I use Distress. It's a little bit different, so that's interesting. We are going to have to explore that on another night a little deeper, because like, look at, I am able to leave pigment on there. It doesn't completely lift off. It will tint my gesso. I like that. I like it, right? I just frayed the paper there, so we'll ignore that. And then we still have the watermarking, but do you see what I'm saying? You don't have the, it still is water reactive, but this pigment will soak into your paper. It's not the same where you'll have that very bright white. It watermarks, but it's different. The formulation is different, but how pretty is that, right? How pretty is that? So yes, thank you, Natalie, because you know I come on and I do these things. So Natalie is just saying, if you are going to shop at the 3 stores that I have listed in my description, if that's where you're going to shop anyway, that please consider using the share sale links, because it costs you nothing, but it certainly helps me bring the content, right? So that shows us blending on, we did a blend. We did a blend. We did it on gesso with some watermarking. Let's go in with the blues. And I'm going to do, let's do the kissing technique, right? Let's do the kissing technique. So you think that strawberry pie is your favorite? Love that. So the kissing technique for me is like smooshing technique. But I've always said kiss it because I think when I'm trying to teach this technique, kissing it, I always say kiss it like it's your grandma, not like it's the rock. You're kissing abuela and she is frail. You don't want to hurt her, so you just go in lightly. You don't smush it right on your page. So that's always why I've said call it the kissing technique. Hello, Mr. Hurley. Simon is in the house. I was talking about you earlier, saying how much I love all of my Ranger signature artists. So very excited to have Simon here. I am a super fan. Awesome guy. So let's do the kissing technique. I'm going to go with Arctic Bliss. So we'll go in on one side individually. So this looks very dirty. See, juicy. You asked, are they juicy? I would say this is pretty juicy, right? Juicy fruit. And now we'll add some water. So I call this the kissing technique because to me, smooshing, you might think you put it down and you smoosh it. The kissing technique is we flip it and then we kind of just rock it on the page. We're going to kiss the ink to the background. Easiest way to break a page when you're like, oh my goodness, I'm so nervous. You know, how do I add my pigment on here? There you go. You kiss it on. And then you get this lovely mixed media background. You will start to get those lines, so just move it around. There you go, the kissing technique. So will this pigment work with that, these inks? Yes, it will. Yes, we love Simon. Okay, so this was Arctic Bliss. Let's put a little mint chill. Yeah, I do. Simon, first I laugh because his picture always pops up. The first time we met was at Creativation, and we had matching shoes. I met him and his mom, both delightful, love them. Told him, we're friends for life now, you can never get rid of me. So there is your mint chill. So this is light, like it is not, doesn't have the pigment load, but I would just do some layers of it. But it is so pretty, right? So pretty. And then I also, let's see if we drip some of that in here. We're going to do some different things tonight because I feel like it, okay? Are you all right with that, guys? Yeah, so Simon, you're here. So tell them how your inks are different than Distress ink. Like, tell us why you love, I think they're great for stamping, right? Like, it's a great stamping ink. But tell the people, because you have a whole bunch of people on here who own your product or maybe are thinking about, like, do I need Simon's inks? I say yes, they all do different things, friends. And if you know you're going to use them and you love to do mixed media, you love to stamp, they all do different things. You're not going to have Ranger come out with having all different artists that they're working with and come out with exactly the same product, right? They all do different things. And then, of course, you have all of Simon's pastes as well. They blend so smooth, and the New Stellar ink pads are so crisp and bold, which I love that, right? I love that. So there is a ton of pigment in them. So that makes it a little magic, right? So look at, friends. So there's some kissing technique. There's a basic background. I dripped so you can see that the mint chill is popping up on top of our Arctic Blitz. Let's go in with a heat tool, and I'm going to dry this a little bit. Well, look at Simon comes out with fabulous stamps too. Like, it only makes sense that you'd want an ink that works with all of that. Now these, like I say, why do I love this kind of ink? This is Technique ink, right? I'm doing techniques with it. So I would say this is close to watercolor. If you really want a watercolory effect, it's magic, right? And again, why these inks? Because they match $49 in market. Papers. It's a pigment thing first and foremost. I really do believe that. So when I have a collection come out, when my collection comes out in the fall, you're going to find you have inks that you know match, right? You will have inks that match. And that is what, to me, is like probably first and foremost why these are magic, is they match scrapbooking, card making, papers, and product. I'm not wanting to sit here and dry this forever, so we're going to cheat. Okay, so we did a quick mixed media background with kissing technique. I want to go in here now and I want to stencil on top of this. Like I said, I do not feel like when Janine was working with Ranger to develop this, we're not reinventing any wheels. It's just we're picking pigments that work with technique and that match, right? That match the collections. And if you like doing stuff with Vicki Boutin stuff with 49 in market, you're going to be excited to have some of these colors when we start doing. And don't forget, in the new year, I also am going to have my stuff coming out with Sizzix. Did you guys know that? Everybody here know that? It was announced that I am one of the new, I don't know what they really call us. It's always right. I'm going to have some stuff coming out with Sizzix next year. It's going to start in the new year. So it will be fun to have inks that I can use with that, right? It's big news. So, yep, it will be coming out. Let's pick a new stencil to use. And now I'm going to go with another color. And the other thing we're going to do, now I'm using my medium, but Simon, what do you have that's closest to iridescent glaze that has no pigment, just sparkle? Which color is closest to this? I'm going to have to buy them. I'm going to need it because this, you can't get these anymore, right? But I have it and it's similar, has similar properties. So I'm going to stamp first. Let's do some stamping on the background. Simon. You know my cat's name is Simon. So Simon, I just called you Simey. I apologize because I love you so much that I named my cat after you. And then I just called you Simey. Because that's, if you were here and I was going to give you a treat, I would say, come here, Simey. So I apologize that I just totally called you Simey. So cookie dough. And I have it, I just don't know where it is. So if you have cookie dough at home, you could do this technique with it. Oh my goodness, though, Simon. Isn't that embarrassing? What is wrong with me? Where do we even begin? So yes, I just called you Simey. So, two ways we're going to do this. So I'm going to take, and the reason I'm doing this, so Simon has a metallic paste that is called cookie dough that will be similar to Vicki Boutin. If you still have this, whatever you have, right? But no pigment, just sparkle. So let's do two things. I'm going to stamp first, but what do we want? Oh, I'm going to take Mint Chill Re-Inker. And I'm also going to do it with your ink pad. So we will take Mint Chill. I just saw it in here, right? I didn't make it up. Mint Chill. Re-inker. I'm going to take a sparkly texture paste. And I'm also going to show you it with an ink pad. So I will also show you ink pad and glaze. Ink pad or re-inker and glaze. Here's something I'm going to tell you though about using re-inker. You can control your water content when you are using a ink pad because you're not going to get much fluid on there. When you're using this, which is very highly pigmented, but it's also wet, and then you go to blend it with your texture paste, it makes your texture paste thinner, and then you could push it under your stencil. So just be aware of this. Don't jump into this all willy-nilly. You need to practice your consistency. So I told you, let's stamp first. So I'm going to go in with Lavender Kisses might be light, but I feel like taking chances. So let's go in. I'm making a quick background, right? I'm hoping this is going to show up. Fingers crossed for me, friends. Fingers crossed, okay? This is a hero, a Stampin' Up, an old Stampin' Up. But you know, anything that's text for me. It's on there. Can you see it? So I stamped this light lilac, lavender color. Did I see Libby here? Is Libby here? Hi, Lib. I called Simon Simey. Simon's going to be like, I'm not talking to you anymore, you weirdo. And I wouldn't blame him. Okay, boop. Okay, deposited a nice little text paper. I wouldn't blame him. It's like, she is such a weirdo. And I'd be like, well, you're surprised by that? We knew that already. So there is a quick background. We've started. So what am I going to go in next with? I'm going to go in next with a stencil, and I am going to create my own pigmented texture paste. So if I was using Simon Hurley's texture paste, it would be cookie dough. If you have this oldie but goodie, Creative Effects iridescent, remember, happy unicorn tears. It's like unicorn, we tickled it and it cried glitter. And we made it into a paste. So I think circles will be fun. Won't that be fun? Say yes, Vicki, that will be so much fun. So I'm going to take my, ooh, this one might be dried out. Haven't used it for a long time, but I have 50 million of them around here. So let's grab one. If I was organized, Simon, I would know where cookie butter was, but we know. Well, you guys know. All you guys know who are out there designing product and doing all the other things that you don't, get the creative time you would like because you're working, doing other things all the time. And I don't get to make as often as I would like to because now it's a business and now it's work. So my space is often a freaking disaster. Here we go. You ready? So let's put some drips of re-inker down. Not much. Highly pigmented, right? There. 4 drips. And what other color do I want to use? What didn't we use, but will go beautifully with this? Do we use Arctic Bliss? We'll do some Summer Sky with it too, okay? Here we go. So I'm going to try 2 different ways. Oh, brand new juicy one. So we know this one will be good. There we go. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. Brand new. Good to go. Yeah, you can't walk in your craft room right now. You know what I'm talking about. It is like sometimes we're setting up. I bet Simon sits down to do a video sometimes and he literally just has to push stuff on the floor, film the video, and then leave the room because you're like, I don't even have time to deal with this right now. So that's sometimes the case. So look at this. Look at happy, tickled the unicorn, sparkly glaze. So now I'm going to mix this in and tint it. Oh my goodness. It is going to be a mint tinted texture paste now. There's not a ton in here. So it's going to be very soft. This is going to be a light mint. If I wanted more, I could put, let's put 2 more drops in. Because you can't make it darker. Like it is, the ink is made. It doesn't go lighter because it's in the ink pad, right? So let's see. But you got to watch because you don't want it to get too runny. But I think we're okay. This color is like, oh my goodness. So we're going to do this. We're going to put that in there, okay? So now I'm going to load that up on my palette knife. And I'm going to, oh my gosh, my friends, can you see that color? Now that's going under the stencil there. We're going to pretend I didn't just make a mess. I'm not going to move this stencil because I'm going to go in by tinting in a little bit darker color. Can you see it on here? Wait for the big reveal. So I'm taking that off. I'm not even cleaning that up because I'm staying in the blue and green range. We're going to do this. So now I'm going to show you the option of if I, put my ink pad directly on my mat and tint my texture paste. Look at that. You don't have to have a reinker. Oh my goodness, look at this. Pick that up. So by using cookie butter or iridescent glaze that has no pigment load, just sparkle, now I can custom tint texture paste to match my 49 and Market inks. So, oh yes, baby. Look at that. Are you ready? Oh, I love it. So I'm going to cheat. This is not a repositionable stencil, but we can't just leave that all willy-nilly. It's got to come down the page a little bit. There we go. Look at that. So when it dries, it's going to be sparkly texture paste now that is custom tinted from my 49 and Market inks. So I'm going to show you something because we don't waste. We don't waste the things. Let's take this, mist it, flip it, kiss it, and we'll put ink through it. You ready? So I'm going to show you a couple different things we could use. Where is my mister? So I'm misting this off. I'm going to get this really wet, but I don't want to spray it on my paper. So now this is quite thick, right? So it is going to be, this fun thing is going to happen. So see, really wet, okay? I am going to put it down on my page, and I'm going to take my paper towel and I'm going to press it in there. Press it in. It's wet though, right? But it's also somewhat thick. I could do this impression probably 2 or 3 times on different pages because it is, I'm going to put some water right in here. Watch what's going to happen. I'm going to make a watery sandwich. I need something to press into here. So let's just find anything. And I'm going to grab my brayer because it's what I do. Here, let's do this. So it's not a whole sheet. I have this little one. Ready? Press that in there. Rub it on. Grab a brayer because I want to add some pressure. And I want to transfer maybe some of that pigment. Now, our texture paste was pretty light. Like we did not have a ton of pigment in there. But look, I'm going to show you. This is just saying, why would you wipe this off on a paper towel? Use it. Okay. Now let's lift that. And why did I put something down on here? Because if I put a paper towel on here, I'm just wasting that product. But look at, I have a very light impression instead of wiping it on a paper towel. So that's one thing. I'm trying not to put my hands in wet or ruin my swatches. And now let's lift. Oh, kind of want to lift it, but I also want to kind of add ink through the stencil. So I'm going to do something. So let's just take a blending tool that's already loaded with ink. Where are you? Do you see one? So this is not a color that I would not mix these, but I'm gonna. So look at this. So we're just gonna go in here before we lift so we can get the positive and negative of this stencil on here. So you gotta watch though. There was a lot of water. I don't want to pill my paper, and it could happen, but let's see. Ready for the reveal? So this was just instead of, oh my gosh, I love it so much. Look at that. Look at what just happened. So So when this dries, you're going to have iridescent. It was just my dirty stencil. And then by blending the ink through it, almost looks like suede, right? Can you see that? And biggest thing is I just didn't want you to waste. Why would we waste that product? But let's make it make sense, right? So we can still take this, because right now it's a rectangle of pattern, and you know that will make me twitch. So I'm just taking what's already on my mat, right? And I could do two things here. Two things can happen here. I'm going to load my brush up and I'm going to do some paint drips, but I also can load my kissing stencil, which is just a piece of plastic. Let's pick up some of that pigment and let's just make it make sense across this page now, so it's not just a rectangle of pattern. There, that makes me happy. And off to the side is a craft mat, Ranger craft mat. Love them. Recommend them. The mat underneath, like this is just a sheet of plastic. So, you know, back in the day, Simon won't know this because he's too young, but some of us more geriatric crafters, we used to have overhead, like in class, do you know? And I mean, the teacher would roll in to do the overhead. So that's the transparency. Oh my goodness, I love this background. I never would have blended those colors. There we go. So now, instead of wiping this all on a paper towel or running it down my sink, I just made another background. Right? Just made another background from my dirty stencil. And I don't know if you can see the sparkle in that. I love it. So let's clean up, because that's what we do. Well, that's what I do, because I am a little bit crazy. And what is the other thing I could do on here is I could totally stamp when all of my stuff is dry. I could totally go in and stamp. Some craziness happen over here. Like, this is not planned action. So, you know, Vicky is going to start freaking out because of the mess. I like the mess, but I have to have control. I have control issues. So things that we need to work on when we make our lists of things that we need to work on would be letting go. Oh, and I just dropped my dirty palette knife on the floor. So I want to talk about the things, because this is pretty much, we've achieved what I was hoping to achieve tonight. Would you like to see anything? Did I miss anything? Seth Apter. All of my friends are here tonight. I love it. And I see Carrie. How are you? Hello, Seth. How are you, my friend? I love that guy. All of my friends are in the house. Simon was here. But then, you know what I did, Seth, if you weren't here when you didn't get to witness it, is I called Simon Simey, because I have a cat named Simon, and that's my love name for him. And I went to ask Simon something, and I called him Simey. Oh, Simon, I'm sure you're like, she's a wackadoo. And I would agree. So look what happened. We did this. We did this, kissing. We stamped with the ink. We tinted the iridescent glaze with re-inker and directly out of the pad. We made that. We had a dirty stencil. Well, we didn't want to waste it. And we took that dirty stencil that had both those colors on there, and we brayered it into the background and then inked through it. And we made those backgrounds. So I showed you, now look at that ink. You can ink blend it. You can do watermarking. You can stamp with it. You can tint your water-soluble products. So you could go in with your matte medium and you could tint it for a clear glaze. Lots of dirty. I was reading on there, love the dirty stencil technique. I said lots of dirty techniques here, right? The dirty piece, right? And it's something you would have wiped it all off with your paper towel. You what question? Do you still plan to show us 49 and market colors for mistletoe? Yes, I have it right here. Because there's colors that I didn't have to match when we did the walkthrough, right? 49 and market papers usually have mixed media on them. So how would you use the ink on a layout? Well, Tisha, not all 49 and market papers are created like that. Vicky comes from a world where I love pattern paper and I feel like we need to build it. So you have different degrees and levels of that. Would you not agree? Through 49 Market, you will have stuff that the whole background is made for you. There's even will be like Dennis will, when he did the Rust and Revs, and there's a whole garage and a truck on the background. Whereas if you're buying mine, it might be a simpler background that I then want you to layer your rub-ons, I want you to layer your pattern paper, and I want you to layer your embellishments to make your own. But the other thing is I would start with white. I don't only use backgrounds, I will make my own backgrounds. So you have tons of options, right? So for some people, their inks might generally to be stamping things that they're going to use elements on there. Some people might use these 49 and market inks to ink edges, that they'll have their whole set that they can ink edges. Some people will stencil on top just like you would use rub-ons on one of those backgrounds. So there are tons of, it just depends how the possibilities are endless. That's what I believe. You know, if I'm crafting, I don't make those backgrounds that are already layered because I want to I like dimension. I don't like it flat on a paper. I like dimension, but I know people love those layered backgrounds. So what I love is by having lots of different, what Dennis's style is, what Joanne's style, what Vicky's style, what Janine's style, we're all different. And what's really nice is you can bring whatever your wheelhouse is to the table, and you can use my product and create something that looks totally different than what I would create, and vice versa. So I really think this is how I feel. And if you're a store owner, I'm talking with my hands, right? Because you can't see me. I'm layers and clusters. I like to do it all because I'm an artist. I like to do that. I like to build this background, and then I would add some rub-ons from one of my collections on here, and then I would cut and layer and sew on it. And I like to do that. Some people don't want to do all those things. They want a paper that already looks like that, and they could just mat their photos, add a title, a little bit of embellishment, and they're good to go. So what's really nice by Janine bringing 3 artists in that are very different to create collections is you get lots of options and choices. So if you're a store owner and you're bringing Vicky Boutin in, but it doesn't look like Dennis and it doesn't look like Joanne and it's new, that is to me what you challenge your design team makers and all the rest to use all those things, because there's method to the madness. There's a reason I do rub-ons. There's a reason that my rub-ons might look different than other rub-ons because of how we use it. I like to build from the ground up, right? Question, will you tell us the 49 and market ink and distress inks? Well, I told you already. I have them out though, but I'll show you, okay? I'm going to clean this up, so give me 1 second and we'll pull out mistletoe and memories, and I'll show you the ink colors, right? Yes, I know you have, Tisha. So you get what I'm saying? So how would these inks be used? Any way you want them to, I guess would be my answer. Any way you want them to. I'll make sure when this is dry, I photograph it, okay? But I love that. I love that. I showed you something that you broke the page with a quick mixed media technique with the kissing. We layered stamps so we know that this ink will work on stamps. And then we tinted a texture paste to give us a texture layer on the background. All with the same inks. And then instead of wasting that, we took the dirty stencil and ink through it and got a whole different background. So now I'm just going to do, and I'm stepping on my palette knife because I have to throw them on the floor. That's why Simon the cat is not allowed down here, because he would walk through all of that. Any other questions? Because I'm sure there's lots. That's what I'm here for, friends. Ask away. And then this one, which look how pretty and subtle, but can you see that unicorn? We tickled it, and look at that sparkle that we got for my happy unicorn tears. Doo. Baby wipe. See, Vicky is confused, so give me 1 second. And then get those questions coming. I'm here for it, friends. You know I had to put some water on this stuff, so just give me a minute. Okay, there we go. It's in the sink. I am happy. Let's wipe this off because now we're going to put scrapbooking paper on here. I will clean it better in a minute, Vicky. It's okay. You can leave it. But things I wanted to talk about are, I really feel that because I know some of you are here that maybe didn't even know I existed because you use 49 and Market, never used American Crafts. You're discovering me for the first time. And this is what I love is just stick around. Like Dennis is doing amazing stuff. There's so many things that I know people that were followed me with American Crafts are discovering new things with 49 and Market. And then for you 49 and Market users who are tried and true lovers of 49 and Market, I already know there's new stuff coming out you guys are going to love that is still going to fit in your wheelhouse. It just, be patient with it. Christmas might not be your jam, so you're not super excited over what I'm going to show you next. Some of you, I love to do mini albums and layouts at Christmas, and I'm going to do the new flip book. You're going to see stuff. I saw somebody said, when is that one going to go for sale? I just want you to know there's very limited number. But like I said, I'm going to put that class up when I do the access only very inexpensively so you can support your favorite local scrapbook stores and you can do that class with me. So I'll get onto that this week. Okay, I will get it up. Like I said, very limited amount. And if you're like, what's she talking about? With my new collection, Mistletoe and Memories, there is a stand with a flip book in it. But I'm going to do other projects that go with that flip book. So don't worry, lots of stuff will be coming down the pipeline. I am. So Antonia was saying, will I be doing more exclusive stencils? I will. There'll be for sure one set before my Sizzix stuff starts for this year. I'm working on it. Question, can you use Distress Oxides with the gesso to get the same manner that you did with the resist? You can, but don't forget that oxides are not translucent, right? They have a chalkiness to them. You're not going to get the same results with them, right? So this is the basic general color palette for my new Christmas collection, Mistletoe and Memories. When we went through the class, or the walkthrough, I showed you inks that match, right? So we had Lumberjack Plaid, kind of goes with that. Fossilized Amber. Saltwater Taffy, kind of, but not really. Kind of, but not really. Fired Brick will work. Aged Mahogany, definitely with a burgundy. Festive Berries, kind of. We have a Rustic Wilderness, kind of, with that green. Evergreen and pine, evergreen bough and pine needles with that green, and mowed lawn here. Okay, so those are colors that went, which is posted. It was in the group. I will post it. I did take pictures of them, and I will post it in the private group and in just regular Vicky Booten creative community on Facebook. So now let's look at our colors here, right? So Daffodil will definitely work. Daffodil with a yellow. Okay, so we have Daffodil. Pink Sands, kind of, but not really. I'm not sure on that. We'll practice with that, but that pink is just a different pink, so I don't think really. Watermelon will. When you go in there, watermelon does work with it. Strawberry Pie 100% will work with that, okay? And then this is the one I'm super excited, is Mint Chill. If nothing else, Mint Chill for this one. because none of the other distress inks match. So mint chill 100% will work with that. Mint chill. And then when we get in our greens, for it, a rainforest will work, and so will green jeans. Those two colors are right there. Okay. And then the other one that I actually think cappuccino matches even better than daffodil. Cappuccino matches better than daffodil. And then the other thing is there's some craft and such in there. So, and there's branches and wood. You could probably use some salted caramel. But this one is everything for me. Boop. Mint chill is everything, right? So I will have the inks available on my site eventually, but I really try to do that dance to make it fair. And I don't really want to do a lot of like store stuff. There are so many great stores. The only reason I will generally have them on there is just because I do a lot of collections. Well, I will be doing collections with 49 and Market. I will have them. I ordered a couple to have at the Canadian side, and then I'll have a couple for the US side, but you're going to be waiting for them. So definitely for my American friends that support my friend Lil Conkar, they're up on there. You can please use my share sale links. It's just so easy if you're going to shop there anyway. And then the other ones, but like we were saying, the people were on here listing all their favorite stores that are carrying them. So definitely go for it right now. Put it up there. What are your stores? If you're on here and you're a store owner, put it up there and say, yes, so-and-so has the inks. So-and-so will be getting the inks, because people are watching from all over. So I think that's super helpful. If you're on there and you're like, Scrap Mania has the inks. Scrap Shack has the inks. Post it on here. I'm totally okay with that, right? Totally okay with that. So any other questions, friends? So right now, before you go, let's do our giveaway. So the first giveaway is going to be live. You have to be here right now. And there is a cherry on top link in my description with my share sale links. So cherry on top, scrapbook.com, Simon Says Stamp, and Lail by Mail are all listed in the description of this video with the share sale links. It costs you nothing, but I get a small percentage. And then when I'm doing these lives, which I don't get paid for, this is in no way. I just did this because I was excited about it. Janine did not ask me to do this. Ranger didn't ask me to do it. I just did it because I love using this stuff, right? So what you guys are doing, comment now, and I'm going to quickly do a scroll, and the name I land on is going to win a whole set of these inks. So I'm going to mail you 15 inks. And then you have a second chance to win in the comment section. I am going to give a second. So if you are living in a different time zone and you can't watch live, or you were doing other things with your family, you still get a second chance. And then I'm going to draw the winner from, what class were we doing? I think it was from the class. There was somewhere else last weekend. Whatever I did last weekend, I had a winner. Oh, yes, I did the walkthrough of Mistletoe and Memory. So if you haven't done that, go leave a comment on the regular comment section. When I'm done this live, I'm going to go and pick the second winner. That's going to get 150 Canadian gift certificate to VickyBooten.com. Okay, so I'm going to scroll. I'm scrolling right now. Are you ready? Here we go. Let's see who's winning this tonight. Let me go for live chat. Live chat so I can see everybody's, that everybody gets a chance. And I'm going to start scrolling. And let's see who's winning. I'm going right to the bottom, and now I'm going to scroll right up to the top. So here we go. Okay. 1, 2, 3. It is Valerie Duffy. Valerie Duffy, you are the winner. Are you still here, Valerie? Congratulations, Valerie. Make sure you email me at info@vickybooten.com. And when my inks arrive, because it's going to take a while, I will send you the whole set. And then don't forget to, and Nat, I don't know if you're still here, but I need a pen. Let me write that down because I don't want to forget Valerie. Putting it on the back of this. Valerie Duffy. Inks. Any questions? I'm going to flip the camera around now, friends, but I'm hoping that you found this helpful. I'm hoping that you found this helpful. I love this. I'm so excited for this new adventure. And Janine is busting her buns, working hard to come up with lots of new, fun, exciting things. I'm just super excited to be a part of that team. Super excited to support my friend, both my friends, all my friends at Ranger, and 49 and Market, just showing you some of the magic that you can do with all of these inks. And I love that it just is going to match the collections. That now I don't have to find an ink to match a certain color cardstock. I'm going to be able to pick from my stack. So I hope that you found this helpful. If you haven't already, please consider. Oh my God, I forgot what it's called. I'm so tired. What's it called when you subscribe to my YouTube channel? And if you haven't already, just make sure you hit that thumbs up so all of our friends can find us and we can still grow this community. Melody, as soon as I am done the live, there will be a regular comment section like on all YouTube videos. So you can comment on there. You can't do it until the live is done, and then you can do that. So yes, please subscribe and thumbs up. And definitely start your playlist where you can start adding all the content here for anything. Maybe the technique I did tonight, you're like, never have done that before, would love to try it. I find that it's great to create a playlist and save your videos to it so you don't have to try to remember where you saw that. Because maybe you watched 6 different videos tonight and you're like, where was that? You're like, oh, it was that crazy Canadian lady, Vicky. That's where I saw that. So I think I wasn't crying or anything. I looked like somebody beat me up. I was working so hard. Make sure you create a playlist because I find it's great to be able to come back and find your content. But I hope you love these inks as much as I do. I'm super excited. I'm super excited for what's to come with this whole new set from 49 and Market and anything that Janine has up her sleeve. Definitely go give her love. You can look at her video as well. Very excited. Going to do lots with them. You're gonna be seeing these on any kind of mixed media nights. Can't wait to add them to my art journal. If you did the art journal series with me here on YouTube, I want to go back now and do some watercoloring and a whole bunch of stuff. And as well, if you want to find a great community on Facebook, we have a private group called the Vicky Booten Creative Community, and it is a great place to meet friends and people who are like-minded crafters, and lots of inspiration there. There's so much great stuff that's going to be coming down with design team, and like I said, Sizzix is going to be starting. I have a release coming out in January. It's going to be good. So there's going to be lots of stuff coming. We have Mistletoe and Memories that I'm going to be doing projects with. There's a new fall release going to be coming out. And then there's a mini release of something super exciting that will work with these inks. So just keep checking in. I've got lots to share. I hope you enjoyed this. And another special happy birthday to my baby girl, Devin. I hope she's having a wonderful birthday tonight. And I will see you guys later. Yes, there is a Halloween collection. There's a mini collection. I'm going to do stuff with that. There's going to be a layout class with that one when it comes out. And I'm sure the design team on 49 and Market are going to rock projects with that. It would work beautifully on that flip stand. So maybe I'm going to do something with that for free. Maybe just for free class. So for the store owners out there, order deep on that Halloween collection. And I'm going to do a free flip book project on probably on a Saturday. We do a whole Saturday class for free. So just be watching for that. And don't forget to comment in the regular comment section for a second chance to win a set of the new 49 and Market. That's from me. I bought them and I'm going to be giving them away. And that draw, come back and check in the comment section. I won't reach out to you because I don't have your emails. I will post the winner in the comment section or in the description at the top of the video, say that giveaway is closed, winner is so and so. Make sure to reach out at Vicky, or pardon me, info@vickybooten.com, and then I will send you your prize. As well, if you haven't already, go and comment on the walkthrough of the Mistletoe Memories. When I get off here, I'm going to go and randomly select a winner for that one as well. So thank you so much, my friends. Have a wonderful weekend, and I won't see you next weekend because I'm teaching. I might go on. We'll see. Just watch. We'll watch. We'll do something maybe quick and fun. Otherwise, have a wonderful weekend. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you later. Bye, guys.